Hello everyone and welcome to Punk Lotto Pod, the game where no one wins, and the lucky numbers are always 666. I'm your co-host Justin Hensley.
And I'm your other co-host Dylan Hensley.
And we're continuing our October Spooktacular, where we forgo the usual format and focus only on horror punk, death rock, psychobilly, and goth rock. And oh boy, is this going to be a bad one.
Oh yeah, this episode's a stinker.
Hopefully it leads to some comedy gold.
I hope so.
God, I hope so.
Or that's the only thing that's going to redeem this episode. I mean, yeah. We'll talk.
If
You'll
you
get plenty of laughs out of.
I hope
just some of the material that we reference, lyrics in particular.
Since we're not plugging in a year for these genres, we just put all of the genres into the Rate Your Music charts.
Big old bag of spooky music.
Yep. I wish we'd gotten a Halloween sound effects album instead of this one.
I've got one. I can sample some of the sound effects and we can plug them into this.
That'd be nice. I need to do like that classic like lightning strike and then like the Transylvania music for the intro.
Yeah. I think I've actually got two Halloween sound effects. If I see something like that at Goodwill or in like a dollar bin at a record store, I can't resist it. I've got an audio obstacle course from Shure needle like cartridge manufacturer.
What's on that?
It just looks cool. I don't remember. I think it's like just like test tones and stuff, and like. Now we're going to play only to the left channel.
Like a D4 album.
Just like, yeah, like a D4 intro sound clip. Like, that's why, that's probably, well, the album cover looks really cool. Probably half the reason I was like, oh, that's probably like a D4 sound clip. And it wasn't nearly as cool sounding, though.
The internet loves October, but on my own, I love October just because it has my favorite seasonal type stuff, candy and displays and, like...
Well, it's also your birthday month.
That's true. So it was always doubly awesome because my birthday, we would always be a costume party too. So I always got to wear my Halloween costume twice, which was awesome. Maybe three times depending on if we went to a church event.
Yeah, like a trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Fall festival.
Don't
dress up as any demons or goblins or ghouls or nothing.
That's fine. I never wanted to. I was always dressed up like
a superhero or something.
Yeah. I'm the Scarlet Spider. What?
Big nerd. Who?
Is that like Spider-Man?
I was a real badass one year and dressed up as Ash from Pokemon the year that their preacher was like talking about how evil. I mean, it was talking about how evil Pokemon is. It's from the devil. It gave those kids in Japan epilepsy. Like, that has nothing to do with Satanism. That's just.
I think that was
flashing lights.
I think that was the year I was dressed as Space Ghost.
That was such a good costume.
It was one of those good, like, cheap costumes because I'm pretty sure the white outfit part was only just a white sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Yeah.
And then I think his blasters were like red Solo cups on my wrist.
I thought maybe it was just like construction paper. Like the rest of the costume was just like made of construction paper.
Yeah.
Or maybe like some felt for the black, like the collar or whatever.
I know the mask. The mask was one of those.
Did you have a cape?
Yeah, I did. I wonder what that was made out of. I don't know. I guess I should go find some pictures of that.
Yeah, we should find some pictures.
Post
them on our Instagram or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess
we got way off the tracks already.
Well, we were trying to avoid talking about our album, so. All right. So the number album we got this week is number 297, and God, that is way too high now that I think about it.
Way too high. Out of like probably 2,000 something records.
Yeah.
When you factor in horror punk, death rock, psychobilly, and gothic rock, which is what we pull from for these episodes. Yeah, it's like I know the EPs are over 1,000 on that list, so it's got to be 2,000 or more records on the album charts. So
Yeah.
this is like within the top third of including gothic rock, which
dominates a majority of it.
Yeah. So,
well, the name of the album, the artist is the Murderdolls, and the album is called Beyond the Valley of the Murderdolls. Fuck me! Jimmy crack corn and I don't give a fuck.
I think that was probably the most stupidest lyric that stood out to me. But I really skimmed this one. Like, full disclosure, I only just listened to this one today because I didn't want to listen to it. And I skimmed it on my way home from work and just was like, listen to the first verse and first chorus, and then like however much of the second chorus I could stand before I would skip to the next track.
Don't worry about it because every song sounds the same.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that.
And they all, through the song itself and every part sounds the same. So like every song is super repetitive. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is my nightmare.
See, I guess I gotta look it up again so that I can reference it. I like deleted the search results and hid the listen from my
I need to go
Spotify
hide the listens
so I don't
too.
remember it, because good lord.
This is hands down the worst album we've done on this show so far. Worse than the Genocide demo, worse than Run Kid Run, worse than the main even.
Yeah.
Though I feel like the main is probably more harmful. Because who the fuck takes the Murderdolls seriously?
Like, I was thinking that while I was listening to it. I was like, do we need to, like... Does anybody really need to be like, fuck the Murderdolls? But
yeah.
At the same time,
this
is so bad.
You can feel that way on an artistic level. Like, fuck the Murderdolls for being bad art.
I think there's such bad art and in such bad taste that I feel comfortable condemning them as people, too.
Hey, well, okay, let's get into this. One of them is a huge piece of shit. So, let's do this real quick.
I mean, I figured.
Well, no, this is a confirmed piece of shit. So, Beyond the Valley of the Murderdolls was released on August 20th, 2002 on Roadrunner Records. And I didn't realize how bad albums in 2002 kind of sounded. Because I went and listened to Iowa, which came out in 2001, just to hear like the production quality versus this one. And it's just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's this weird, like, kind of quiet. Like, everything is too quiet, I feel like, on this album.
Yeah. This Murderdolls record is mixed really heavy towards the drums,
which makes sense because of the band members, so let's get into that. I guess here's the most credible person in the band. Joey Jordison of Slipknot, People Equal Shit, plays every instrument He plays guitar, bass, drums, and keys on the album.
There's 5 people on the album cover.
Oh, there are only 3 people playing on the album, though.
Wow.
Also, we'll go in order of least piece of shit to most piece of shit. So Joey's probably the least piece of shit. I've heard nothing really awful about him other than he was
in bad bands.
Yeah, he was like the most famous member of Slipknot besides Corey Taylor. Because didn't he play in wasn't he in a legit band, like a black metal band? Satyricon? Did he play with Satyricon?
I mean, that's if you consider Satyricon legit.
Yeah.
More so than Slipknot, I guess, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he played in that band.
Yeah. Also in the band is Wednesday 13 of Wednesday 13 and Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13, which my friend loves to bring up that he saw them play live at the 106.5 End of Summer Weenie Roast the one year he went.
Oh, classic Weenie Roast with all the bands that they don't play on their radio station.
Yeah. They played... They were a Charlotte band, too, which I guess means Wednesday 13 is a Charlotte musician. Maybe. I don't know. And the biggest piece of shit in the band, and if I'd known he was in this band before we drew this album, I would have said pass on it, is Trip Eisen of Dope and Static X. And do you know what Trip Eisen is known for?
I know it's not good.
He was arrested for sleeping with an underage girl, but what makes it interesting is he told her that he was a Trip Eisen impersonator and not the actual person.
So, he knew, and he was just like, hey, I'm a Trip Eisen impersonator, thinking that he wouldn't get caught. She'd be like, I slept with a Trip Eisen impersonator.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the girl didn't fall for it. I mean...
Oh, interesting. Trip Eisen has made known his libertarian views to many fans throughout his years as a musician. He is a follower of objectivism, the philosophy of Ayn Rand.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
He's an extra piece of shit on top.
I guess he was... But he was kicked out of Static X.
He was.
After that, right?
Yeah, but he plays on the album Shadow World. Mm-hmm. But, he got kicked out. Well, he got arrested before that album came out. So, his name is real tiny in it. He's credited as the musician performing on the album. But I feel like he just played some leads. Because all he played on this album was some, solos on a couple parts. So that makes it a little better. He's barely on this album, really. Yeah, it's mostly Joey and Wednesday 13.
Yeah.
So 12 of these songs were already Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13 songs, just re-recorded. So they just took 12 of Wednesday 13's already written songs and re-recorded them. And I went and listened to some of them to see if there was any difference. There is no difference, besides maybe the recording quality. And in fact, there are a bunch of classic horror movie and sci-fi samples all over the Frankenstein Drag Queens versions that I'm kind of mad that they're not on the Murderdolls versions, because at least then it would have had a little bit of charm of the retro, 50s horror stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that was a missing element from this album. I was like, they didn't even put in a bunch of sound clips
I'm assuming Roadrunner didn't want to pay to clear them.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a contractual obligation release because Slipknot and Dope were both on Roadrunner at the time. And so they were like, well, we're not going to let anybody else put this out, but we're not going to put a lot of money in ourselves, so let's just throw this out there with nothing on it. Except, weirdly, they re-released it as a special edition a year later.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the special edition?
Yeah, that's what was on Spotify.
Yeah. So, I listened to the special edition to, hear what the bonus tracks were, and the bonus tracks were even worse than the album tracks. So
they're horrible.
They're like shockingly bad.
Yeah.
What
Such bonus tracks including "Let's Fuck" and "I Take Drugs" and a cover of "White Wedding." And then my personal favorite, the last track on the special edition, "I Love to Say Fuck," which delivers.
Oh God, they say fuck so much on this album. They also spell the word fuck a lot. Like, we know how to spell it. You don't have to keep spelling it. Oh, let's look at.
We need to jam some more lyrics into this song. Let's just spell fuck.
Let's read off some of the song titles on the actual album too.
Yeah.
So, number 1, we've got "Slit My Wrist."
Yeah.
"Twist
Tasteful.
My Sister,"
which it includes the previously referenced Jimmy cracked corn and I don't give a fuck line.
Like, I heard the first song and I was like, yeah, this song's real bad. And then when I heard that line in "Twist My Sister," I was like, oh, this is a new kind of bad. Oh, this is gonna be something shockingly bad.
This is the kind of bad I didn't think was possible. Like, at first I was like, oh, this is about as bad as I expected it to be, and then it gets worse.
It's what you would expect from a bunch of nu metal guys playing horror punk. You know, like, guys, it's the Misfits without the charm.
Yeah.
It's like Rob Zombie crossed with Jerry Only's Misfits.
Oh, it's worse than that, though. Like, because at least Rob Zombie, like, is actually a fan of horror movies. These guys don't honestly seem like it. Like, B-movie Scream Queen, you're just mixing things up. B-movies are like 50s and 60s sci-fi and horror, and Scream Queens are like Halloween and slasher movies.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
The song track 3, "Dead in Hollywood," it was like probably the least offensive song because it's the one that's just like name drops horror movie characters like Vincent Price and the Leatherface and the Tall Man, weirdly. So
the only song on this album that I listened to from beginning to end actually was "Dawn of the Dead."
Because it's about Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, and it's just like pretty much just straightforward referencing the movie. Like, the chorus is, "When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth." And like, that's like the only song that I didn't immediately want to change, other than like how awful it sounds.
Yeah.
Because the vocals are just horrendous.
He's got this, like, what do you call it? It's just like I'm on a thing like that.
Yeah.
What is it? I couldn't think of a good comparison vocally.
Like a bad Rob Zombie impression.
Yeah, like a bad Wayne Static.
It's got that kind of like gurgly, growly, but like obviously just like some hick.
Yeah.
Just like some redneck piece of shit.
I guarantee Wednesday 13 is from North Carolina.
We should look it up.
Let's see. Wednesday 13.
Probably.
How is he still around?
Probably from like Gastonia or something.
This is like the theme song of the Murderdolls is Gastonia in musical form. He is
Joseph
from
Michael Poole.
It's from Lexington, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a good old boy.
Yeah. Lexington, North Carolina is, for those who don't know, central North Carolina in the Piedmont region. It is the home of barbecue.
Yeah.
The birthplace of the Lexington-style, Western North Carolina-style barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
If you like barbecue, that's my preference. So my recommendation. That's the only reason to go now.
Right. And you don't even have to go to Lexington proper. You can just get kind of close, and you'll get Lexington-style barbecue, and it'll be just as good as going directly to Lexington.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Oh no!
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
You got your Nightmare Before Christmas in my Slipknot. Oh. This is like a walking Hot Topic store in 2003. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go through the rest. We just got to talk about every song title.
Yeah.
Love at First Fright. That's the song that had the almost clever lyric. Oh, what was it? It was like...
It's the one that I was like, this could be like a Misfits song. This sounds like something Danzig could have written.
Love at First... Woof.
God, the first line.
When I saw you piss on the rug, my heart fluttered. And I knew it was love, true love.
When I saw you piss on the rug, my heart fluttered and I knew it was love, true love. All the things that you said and did to your mom, but I knew you were the only one for me. Go and call the police so he can exercise me. Be my girl tonight. Reagan, it was love at first fright. First fright. Love at first fright. First fright. Reagan, it was love at first fright. First fright. Love at first fright. First fright.
I love if you spin your head for me or vomit a beautiful pea soup green.
That's right. This is the song that's about Regan from The Exorcist. It's about falling in love with Regan. People hate me? Yeah, they do. They really do.
Justifiably. Yeah, She Was a Teenage Zombie is the song I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's the one with the line... Drop Dead Gorgeous. Yeah, she was a teenage zombie. Drop Dead Gorgeous, that's for sure. Like, almost clever.
Oh, yeah, that's almost kind of funny. But there's a movie called Drop Dead Gorgeous, so... And I think it's about a dead girl, so it's not really that clever. He just saw the movie.
Probably
Die My Bride?
Like a tagline or something. Yeah, Die My Bride, we were listening to Die My Darling, and just decided to copy it.
Oh, here's probably the worst song on the album. Graverobbing USA. Okay, so this album has not one, not two, but 3 songs about necrophilia. And
this song gave me pause. And I texted Justin and was like, serious question. This song begins with a sound clip.
It's like it's a skit.
Some people, yeah.
It's like a hip hop skit. I mean, it obviously is because they're clearly using sound effects at certain points.
Yeah. So the sound effects are like they're shoveling dirt and background noises or whatever, and then they're like, oh ho ho ho, and then someone goes, I'm first.
Dude, get close. What are you doing, man? Oh yeah, you're right. Dude, I see him. I see that part of the board. Yeah. Yep. That's it. First shot. Ditch the shovels.
And now,
throw them out.
what are we gonna put?
Just
What are we
ditch
gonna
the
do?
shovel.
Oh yeah, fuck you, dude.
Wednesday, you got the flashlight.
Right here.
Give me it.
Here you go.
Get the crowbar and go pry it open. I just see a spot there. Right here? It's right there, that middle part. Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck. I'm first.
Yeah, it's the sound of... And then... Yeah, it's the sound of a group of miscreants digging up a grave, opening the coffin, and like kind of gross noises too. Like they're like, yeah, and the I'm first implies this is a song about necrophilia, but it doesn't really imply it in the lyrics. It's very blatant. That's what this is.
Yeah.
This was the one I was like, oh no, they're monsters.
Yeah, this was the song that I feel comfortable judging them as people for creating.
Here's another thing I noticed about this song. This isn't just a grave robbing and necrophilia song. It's about aliens grave robbing and performing necrophilia.
Yeah, it's like a weird, gross Plan 9.
Yeah. It's like if in Plan 9 they wanted to fuck the corpses. They wanted to fuck Tor Johnson and Vampira instead of turning them into zombies.
Oh, jeez. But yeah. All right. Yeah, let's just keep going. Let's plow through. 1976.
Yeah.
Is the next song, which I think is maybe when someone in the band was born in 1976.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
what the year
the
was
first,
referencing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I am. 76, born a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Then there's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Then Let's Go to War, which is a weird one. Because I think it's just a song about, like, wanting to go to war just so you can kill people.
I wondered if that was it. I didn't pay too close attention. I was like,
but
this is either like an anti-war song, and maybe it still could be, but...
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. So, it's also, like, no, homophobic, sort of? Hey, stupid, don't suck your thumb, take your diaper off, and put your helmet on. I guess that's more like, don't be a baby, go to war.
Yeah.
But there's something in here about, with lipstick smeared across my face, cocked and loaded, can't shut me up. I'm a basket case. I don't know what the what the song is actually about. Weird. It sounds like just a crazy person doing it in the military. After that is
to depress.
That one might be about cross-dressing and being a drag queen, because that's what like half the songs on Frankenstein drag queens from Planet 13 are about. Which you'd think is kind of progressive, but it's not at all.
Because I don't think that gay, is he?
I don't get that impression. Not from these lyrics. Yeah, Kill Miss America. That one was pretty shitty, too. It's just... First line, I want to be a fucking prize-winning drag queen with the platform boots and the tombstone looks. With the bolts on my neck and the gun in my dress. So this is directly a Frankenstein drag queen from Mars, or from Planet 13 lyric song. There's the B-movie Scream Queen, and then Motherfucker, I Don't Care.
15 songs on the original version of this.
Album. Excluding the bonus tracks.
15 shitty songs on this record.
Best song on either version is the White Wedding cover. And even then, it wasn't a
cover too.
Yeah. And then there's Welcome to the Strange, which was on the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. It was like the least offensive of their songs, I thought. It was just real vague horror themes. Here's some nice out of context lyrics that I just, when I was reading the lyrics, I was like, I gotta read these. Here's one line: barbed wire cock ring. I'm not even sure which songs these are from anymore. I just isolated them. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I, oh my God.
Yeah, that was
Twist My Sister.
Twist My Sister, which I'm just interpreting that song's about incest, so.
Well, you actually have to read the lyrics to figure out what this one's about, because I think they're about living on a farm. I don't know. But the line before he says, twist my sister 50 times in a row, is like, grab her by the pigtails. So I think it's basically grabbing his sister by the pigtails and swinging her around by them. That's what the whole song is.
It's an interpretation.
Here's another one.
Of grabbing her by the pigtail.
Yeah. Don't want to kiss you, bitch. Want to bash your head. In 1976, I killed an animal rights activist because animals ain't got no rights. That's right. That's just poorly written.
Not vegan friendly.
And here's the last one. Well, I'm rubber and you are glue. I'll beat the motherfucking shit out of you. And you're pro-life and I'm pro-death. And I'll throw you from the tree and break your fucking neck. The music. The music is just bad too. Like, on top of shitty lyrics, shitty vocals. Like, the
songwriting, like the musicianship and songwriting on this record are spectacularly bad. Just totally unmemorable riffs and just like definitely. It's
weird. They say Joe Jordison played guitar on the album, and you can tell that a non-guitar player played on this album because he's known for being a drummer.
Yeah.
And if out of all the instruments on the album, the drumming is probably the best part. Because there were a few spots where I was like, oh, that's an interesting fill for like a horror punk band.
Yeah. The drumming is the only competent musicianship on the record. And even then, it's like a lot of it's phoned in. It's just like do cut. Just like, this is what you expect. This is the easiest thing to do for this song.
I imagine they shit this album out super quick in the studio too. Like,
oh yeah, it sounds like.
I mean, the fact that they didn't bother using the other two musicians that they hired to do the tour with them, I don't know. It's funny because like Tripp wanted his dope bandmate AC Slade to play with the band too, and they were like, nah. And then when Tripp left to go back to Static X, then they hired AC Slade. I was like, what? You could have just put him in the band in the first place. You would have had an extra person playing on the album. It might have given some variation on at least the guitar playing. I don't know. Not that Dope were an interesting band.
No.
What's their most favorite song is like a cover.
Yeah, I don't know that I've really listened, because even when we were into Static X and stuff like that, close to it, I didn't like Hope. There was nothing appealing about that band to me, so
yeah. The amount of spelling errors in the reviews on Rate Your Music for this album should indicate the type of fan base we're working with here. Ooh, there's some. It's like
new metal fans.
New metal fans from today, which are much.
Oh yeah,
that's much worse than a new metal fan 15 years ago, because at least then it was a trend.
For some reason,
it was popular.
Yeah, for like 13-year-old.
Right. You should grow up and be like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
So I give this album a 0.75 out of 5.
The 0.75 for like the one interesting fill.
Yeah, it's purely Joey Jordison's drum playing. And while the writing is bad, you can't say necessarily that he didn't know how to play a G chord or an E chord.
Yeah.
At least there's that. Singing's bad. Songwriting's bad. It's just bad all around. They look like idiots. Yeah, I guess we could. They, you remember how like every new metal band like had a look? I guess that was Slipknot's fault, really. Half of them wore masks, like half of new metal bands, like Mudvayne and Mushroom Head, and
Yeah. What, the one dude from Limp Bizkit?
yeah.
Didn't he wear a mask?
No, he wore face paint.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
West Borland.
Yeah. Well, because he didn't want to be recognized.
Yeah. He was the one who quit the band and came back multiple times. I know a lot about the band Limp Bizkit because I listened to this hilarious podcast called $3 Pod, y'all, where they go through the history of Limp Bizkit. It's very funny. Yeah, but even then, as bad as new metal was, it was more interesting sounding than this album is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, rubbery riffs or fun DJ scratchings.
Yeah, the guitar playing is so uninspired on this record. It's just like the most generic riffs, and they're just repeated pretty much continuously through the songs. And then like even like the guitar leads are just like, yeah, I figured out how to bend this one chord shape, and that's it. So you get those and that's it. Like, there's not even like cool guitar solos or anything. Like, it's to go with like the, I don't know, like horror punk rock and roll vibe.
Yeah.
And there's not even like interesting like industrial textures like a Rob Zombie record or something like that.
No samples, really.
Yeah.
Mainly,
it's bad. I think I'd give it like a 0.5.
Yeah. Ugh.
Anyway,
I guess we can move on to our EP.
yeah, let's move on quickly.
There's not a lot to talk about there either. So, for the EPs, we got number 371, and it's from a band called Dystopian Society, and the EP is called Dystopian Society.
Can you recognize the place where you were born? There's a so concrete, no trees beyond these walls. Forests are devoted to huge parking lots and fabulous skyscrapers hitting down the clouds. Lost in alienation in the city with no name. People running fast toward a distant fate. Branded plastic idols and swimming toxic air. Enslaved by something that we'll never understand. Where the progress is a lie, where the progress is a lie, where the progress is a lie, where the progress is a lie.
Bleh, bleh, it's a gothy meatball.
It sounds like someone's doing a Dracula impression, but I think it's probably just the guy's Italian accent.
Yeah, they sound like Italian Draculas.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of research on this band because I was like, what do we talk about? Like,
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about.
it's so basic, like goth rock, post punk. You know, the first opening track on the album EP it gave me like kind of hope that we were gonna get like a Neurosis ripoff or something, because it uses like a straight up Neurosis riff. I can't think of which song it is, but it's like off of Silver and Blood, maybe, or maybe Enemy of the Sun. I don't know. It's just like that. Boom. And
We could probably just play the riff.
yeah, I'll insert it here.
riff here. Yeah, there was nothing to hook me on this EP. Like, it was just boring. The lyrics weren't good. They're just like not. There were no like clever or interesting lyrics or imagery. It was just like, these are dark sounding things.
Which is disappointing because in my research about this band, I learned a little bit about like their politics. They seem like kind of cool and kind of smart people. Like, let's see. I found an interview with Cult Nation in 2012. I believe it's where they talk about their lyrics. And it says, in our lyrics, we try to talk about all the bad aspects of modern societies like war, marginalization, isolation, insanity, loss of individual freedom, earth exploitation, classism, repression, and so on, along with celebrating the purity of so-called losers and people who have been labeled as dangerous because of the way they act or think. We find all this political because it's the system that created all of these side effects. We all have the power to change this and to make the world a better place, but first we need to be aware. So, like,
I really wonder if maybe there's like English is obviously not his first language.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering if maybe there's just he felt obligated to write and sing in English to have a broader appeal, but isn't like really fluent in the language in a way that he can write like creatively or poetically. Because I can see those themes. There was at least one song that was like clearly like about war and like, you know, it being bad. But the lyrics are just like generically like, they want you to be soldiers. Like,
that's true. He may not have a strong enough grasp of the English language to write creatively. Like, he can hold a conversation very clearly because that obviously made a ton of sense what he was just saying. But maybe it's harder.
Yeah. And maybe he wrote his lyrics in Italian and then translated them to English, and
that's
so
true.
There's just like a lost in translation kind of like. Because, I mean, how ungraceful is it when you translate most languages to English? It's just like...
And I'm also curious if he wrote his songs simply for also Italian people who can speak English. Like, maybe he's like, I can't be super complex with my English writing.
Yeah.
Because I want Italians who can speak English to also be able to understand it. And depending on their level of English, you know...
Yeah.
Comprehension. Maybe. I don't know. Because, like, they seemed interesting. That interview talked about, like, Italian politics. Like, this was, like, during the Berlusconi stuff. And they talk about rejecting capitalism. And they talk a lot about anarchism. And they, like, live in squats. Like, apparently they formed in 2010 when two of the members, like, knew each other for a while and had been, like, writing. But they found their drummer when they were, like, planning a party that was going to take place in, like, a squat, basically. They definitely are they seem very anarchist. Well, and I listened to some of the later music.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're creative musicians.
Yeah, that's true. I listened to some of their later music, and they do get better over time. This was just the very first EP they ever recorded, and it was self-released on a CDR.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about because there's like this little bit of like 70s punk to it, like that first wave of post-punk even. Yeah, it just wasn't anything to grab onto.
Yeah. The vocal delivery wasn't particularly good.
Yeah.
Either. Going for like a goth rock thing, but I don't know, it almost seemed like couldn't really sing, but the music they were writing wasn't suitable to like just straight up shouting.
Yeah.
And so it just, I don't know, there's a real disconnect for me. Like musically, vocally, lyrically, it just doesn't work.
Yeah. I saw a lot of comparisons to early Christian Death, and I don't know if that's accurate or not. I
haven't listened to enough Christian Death to know.
Yeah.
I would say that sounds right. Like that's probably like one of the bigger influences based on what I know of Christian Death. But it really reminded me of like what were they called? Like that first Attila Chihar band.
Oh, Tormentor.
Tormentor. Yeah, this is a story about Elizabeth Battery.
Elizabeth Battery.
Yeah. That's what it says. the actual correct way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got that vibe too. Then there was like a weird fast song that I was like, this is just 77 punk. Like, what's the point? Why did you, I don't know. I thought it was way older than what it was. 2010. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. And there's really not much to say about it.
Yeah. I give it a 2.0. I feel like they were all competent in everything they did. And when I'm listening to it, I'm not like, oh god, this is awful.
Well,
not like Murderdolls, but
yeah, I mean, I would give it about a 2.0 too. Like, it wasn't very creative, but at the same time, it seemed like they were at least trying. So,
yeah.
and then, you know, I listened to this back to back with Murderdolls, so it was miles ahead of it. You know, just like, all right, this doesn't make me want to throw up.
Yeah.
I don't want to immediately turn it off. So,
But I didn't have any fun with it either.
no. Well, yeah, I guess that covers it.
Yeah, that sounds about it. Well, I guess we can talk about what we'll be discussing next week. We're going to continue our Halloween Spooktacular. I should come up with another.
Or think about it. Something will come to me. Our Casino of Horror. I don't know.
Our Riverboat Casino of Horror. So
The Lotto Scratcher is haunted.
we're going to continue doing the horror punk, psychobilly, goth rock, and death rock for one more week.
Yeah.
Because we've got something special coming up for the last week of October. Actually, not Halloween related, but is timely. So, but as of now, for next week, we're going to be talking about. So for the album, we got number 587, and the band is called Batmobile, and the album is called "Bail Was Set at $6 Million," and it has the funniest, the dumbest album cover.
This is some classic psychobilly. You call them psychobilly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're a psychobilly band. This album came out in 1988, so they're like contemporaries of like Reverend Horton Heat, and maybe post Stray Cats.
Yeah, Stray Cats would have been earlier. This is probably before like Brian Setzer Orchestra started.
Yeah,
I don't know when Brian Setzer went off on his own, but
it's probably in the 90s.
Yeah,
it's probably Cramp's contemporaries, because Cramps were still going at this point, and but like before the what would you call that? The psychobilly boom that happened in the late 90s with like Necromantics and Tiger Army and
yeah. This is way before like any Hellcat Records type.
Yeah.
This is contemporary with the Cramps, with Reverend Horton Heat.
Which means it's probably better
Club. Yeah, I'm intrigued to listen to this record.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
Yeah. And do you want to tell us what our EP is?
So for our EP, we drew number 150, and we'll be talking about the self-titled EP, Pleasure Leftists, by Pleasure Leftists. There are
But not...
2 self-titled EPs by Pleasure Leftists.
Mm-hmm.
So to
What year was this
clarify,
one?
we are talking about the one with the green album cover from 2013.
Okay. Yeah.
Which that'll be a good one because I'm familiar with the Pleasure Leftists. I enjoy their music. I'd like to know a little more about them. They're a good like post-punk, sort of death rock, sort of goth rock band.
Yeah, and they even have a little bit of like new wave to them, because their most recent album had a little bit of like a flock of seagulls sort of elements to it, like those shimmery guitars sort of. I'm excited to talk about both of these actually. I mean, the Batmobile might wind up being like kind of boring after a while, or who knows, maybe the lyrics are trash and maybe we'll get a good laugh out of it. But I'm as of right now, I'm excited to talk about these 2 releases.
Yeah, and way much. Let me take that over.
Way much more.
Way much better. Good. Yeah, I'm way more excited for next week's episode than I was for this one. I was really dreading this one. We recorded this one like a week late, too. Just because,
we did.
I mean, other factors certainly played into effect, but not least among them was our ambivalence.
Yeah, normally I listen to these albums a couple times. I did the Murderdolls album twice, and I was like, okay, I get it.
I can't believe you listened to it twice.
Well, I did it a week apart too. So, yeah, I had to just to get it like refreshed in my mind so I could make my notes on it. But woo, glad that's over with.
Yeah. So we lost big this time.
Oh yeah, we definitely lost this.
We didn't even recover on the EP.
No. Ugh. But hey, next week can be better. I hope.
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, yeah, just continue following us on all the social medias. We're on Twitter and we're on Instagram at punkalatopod. We have an email address, it's punkalatopod@gmail.com. We have a website, it's punkalatopod.simplecast.fm. And please rate, review, and subscribe us on whatever platform you use. Just so we can get people to hear it. We had a nice little bump off of our Gaslight Anthem episode. It's actually our second most downloaded episode. So I think maybe we should talk about more modern bands if we want to get more people to listen to us.
Talk about more good bands.
I don't think October month is actually going to help us gain more fans, but...
Yeah, we are a little overambitious and got into like a themed month,
Yeah, only
a month into our podcast. But hey, if you're still listening, thanks. Thanks for sticking with us, and give us a shout. Give us some pointers. What do you want to hear? What did you think of the records? Comment on our Instagram posts and hit us up on Twitter. We'd love to talk to you. Get to know who's listening. We looked at our stats, and we see all the little dots on the map, and it's interesting. I'd like to know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and like on our and on our Twitter, we share like music news stories. I'm really trying to use that a little more, just to share other bands I actually like instead of what the randomizer gave us.
Yeah, for that sweet content.
Yeah, sweet tint, bro. Well, I guess we can call it a day here.
Yeah, sign off and catch you next week.
Yep, come back and
installment of our Punk Lotto Trick or Treat.
Yeah. Bye.
See you later.
Yo, look at the turnout for our party. Fizz, fizz.
I want to suck your blood. It's twilight time. Time for blood sucking.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing a vampire thing because chicks are all into vampires and stuff, because of the stupid Twilight movie and all that other crap. So I'm like, what if the waitress is into it? This is my best shot.
You are dressed like the Phantom of the Opera. He's not a vampire.
He eats theater people.
No, he doesn't.
I think he might.
He does. And I'm surprised you even know who the Phantom of the Opera is.
He might not.
He doesn't.
No, I don't.